Please take your seats. Our program will begin shortly.
I didn't choose this music, but
you are. No, keep the. I want the jazz. Yeah! What's up, everybody? How's PAX East going? Woo! Welcome, everyone, to Deus Ex, Mankind Divided, Meet the Cast. I have no chair now. I knocked my chair over dancing. I'm very enthused and happy to be here, everyone. Are you happy to be here, PAX East?
Yeah.
Remember, this panel is meant to be fun and it's all for you, so when you like stuff, cheer. When you don't like stuff, boo. So if Elias says the game is delayed again, what will you do?
Why is this my fault in any way?
I thought it was a good move on their part. They're like, no developers, just the...
Get the electronics off of there, boy.
Jensen.
Yeah, bring that in nice.
Sorry.
Bring that nice and
My augments are screwing up.
So, Elias.
Yes, sir.
Redeem yourself.
All right.
I'm Greg Miller. I'm from Kinda Funny. This is Elias. Elias, who do you play in the game?
Alex Johnson.
Big fan. He's a big fan.
What was the guy's name? No, I play Adam Jensen in this game called Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
There you go. Who liked his performance in Human Revolution?
I didn't like it.
Victoria.
Hello.
Who do you play in the game?
Alejandra Vega.
Alejandra.
My accent isn't that thick in the game, but no, we had to make it a little smaller because it sounded a little funny if we went too extreme. You don't know me yet, but you will.
This panel, of course, will introduce you to her, both the actress and the character, to give you a deeper understanding of everything happening in Deus Ex. Thank you for laughing at that. No one else. It was like I was out on a limb for a second, right? And then rounding out our group, the one and only Chimeme. Hello, Chimeme.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well.
Did I nail your name?
Not quite.
God damn, that's the way you said it. Chimoemwe.
Yeah.
From now on, his last name's Miller,
will
like
mutate
mine, so we're calling
every
him Miller
time
the
you
rest
say
of the
it.
show. When I say Miller, we're talking to you now, all right?
That's right.
Jeez Louise, Miller.
The
Who do you
default,
play in the
Mr.
game?
Miller. There we go. Chimwemwe. I played Chicane.
Yeah. Chicane's first name is Elias, by the way, which
That's
I
right.
don't think is a
You guys
coincidence.
are totally confusing me right now.
Yeah, it's weird, right? You have two Millers on the panel. You have Elias and then another Elias, and then there's just too much happening.
And a girl.
You're the easiest to remember. Anytime there's a her or a she, we're talking about you.
I'm safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have much to talk about. But first, would you like to see a trailer? Did I say
Hi everyone, I'm
That's
here at the
beautiful.
Square Enix Japan office because, it's a lovely
Relief, to actually
Jensen.
to be. It's actually a bit surreal to be
Happening right
here
now. How do you come to Adam in a
and
second?
actually talk
I have to
about.
be careful when I do these things, 'cause
we will
there's
be
some
talking
spoilers that I have to
about
avoid,
all the things
for
to
the
do
movie.
with Final
Say
Fantasy 15, and I
everybody's
think
It's fine.
Nobody posts them online.
I think some
I
of
signed
you
these things called
watching
NDAs
might
that I
have
get
an idea
fired
of
and
some of the
killed or
things we
something
might
like
be
that.
talking
Wow,
about
that's an
after
intense
some
Yeah, they're
some
very
news,
serious.
potential news
But the
today.
game takes
But
place 2
trust
years
me,
after the
there
end
is
of the
so
last
much
game.
more to discover.
And
So we're going to roll on our first guest.
Panchea, if you guys remember,
Oh,
Panchea,
so
we'll say
first
Panchea
up, we're
exploded.
going to bring in
Jensen
some
said in the
cosplayers,
trailer he was found
Let's go.
which
face
are
down,
coming. Oh,
unconscious. And 2 years pass. You learn what happens in those 2 years when you get the game. Yeah, I did.
August 23rd, everybody.
August 23rd. And Jensen has joined a task force called Task Force 29. And they go around. They're kind of an anti-terrorist task force. He has joined it, and you'd think he's joined it just because of his sense of justice and things like that, but he actually has kind of an ulterior motive because he thinks that the people who are kind of, this is a Deus Ex game, so we'll just out and say it, the Illuminati and people in charge, he thinks that they have their hands in Task Force 29. So he's joined this task force. He's working for them. He's doing missions for them. He doesn't know if he trusts them yet. And he has people who he works for, who he is working with, I should say, who aren't in Task Force 29, which is where Alex Vega comes in.
The wing woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of an informant for him. Alex Vega is an ex-Bell Tower pilot with military training, very smart, tough chick. And she's often buzzing in his ear, trying to help him avoid horrific incidents. And she gets a little impatient with him sometimes.
Yeah, because she doesn't trust the task force that Jensen's working for at all, right?
I don't trust anybody, man.
Yeah. Now you sound like it. And the other thing that's so funny is Victoria would, in the script, we had a lot of lines that were in Spanish.
Yeah.
And you would just translate them into English because you're like, this is not.
It wasn't
doesn't
working.
work.
Sometimes it just wasn't working. Like, I don't know. What are you doing, cabrón? Like, mierda, no, don't worry about it. You know, it was just, I had to like sort of fix it so that it kind of made a little bit more sense the way that a Latina would actually speak until we found sort of a middle ground.
Are you telling me Canadian writers can't nail
The Latinas?
the Latinas?
They're getting there. They're
The
getting
writer's
there.
American, actually. The
She's
writer
actually
is
really
American.
good. She's really
but
awesome.
she's very white, I guess.
Elias, can you just roll with a joke once or twice? Immediately coming out with your fact check squad. I believe we have a cutscene to introduce the world to Vega.
Oh, cool.
Hey, there I am.
So you don't have to just... yeah.
Oh, there she is.
I swear it's gotten even worse here the past few days. Everyone looking over their shoulder, terrifying odds because you're going to attack them again.
Somebody probably will. Look out. Light up. They'll start acting like it.
You say that like there's nothing we can do to stop it.
I already tried 2 years ago. Didn't work out so well.
So what? Are you saying we should just give up? Let hatred and prejudice take over? The hell with that.
I'm saying I can only go after enemies I see, Alex. The men who caused all this, true power brokers, they're the ones I need to stop. I thought you knew that.
I do. You, me, the Juggernaut. They were all trying to stop them. Doesn't mean turning a blind eye to
Then help me find them.
I hate the city. Come on. If you're right about Dubai, about the Illuminati needs your team as witnesses, then we need to find out why. Who gave you the order to learn this?
Miller did. But it probably came from someone higher up the chain.
Doesn't mean he's not in on it. Ever heard of the NSN?
Never subnet, sure. TF-29 directors use it to plan ops and communicate privately in cyberspace. What's this?
Whisper chip, custom-made wiretap device. Janus designed it to fit inside the NSN's motherboard.
Ah, Lucy Janus, leader of the hacktivists. Am I ever gonna meet this guy?
Someday, maybe. Right now you need to concentrate on Miller. Find a way to access the NSN's motherboard.
And that's the end.
Augmentation. Yet here he is, he gets to make these snide comments of calling him boss or whatever, but
If it was up to him, he would much rather not have, an AUG around him at all, right? So I think it's having that tension of it's his job, he's going to be there, he's going to do it, and then having to deal with this AUG who, in a way, is... In a way, he's human. Not entirely, but but I think that tension is what allows me to get into the role. And it's just, I mean, it's written really well, and it's a lot of fun to play.
And our relationship does strengthen throughout the game, right?
It does.
Even though that trust kind of never really grows, again, without giving anything away. But that tension is always there. But our relationship kind of strengthens through it. Both of us.
Well, once they get into the actual dynamic of the game, you know, at the offset in the beginning, it's pretty tense.
Yeah.
Pretty tense.
So then, Victoria, how does Vega fit into this? I feel like the Adam, Jensen, Chicane thing, that makes sense, right? Like, at odds the entire time. For Vega, what's her role?
Well, Vega cares overall for the well-being of mankind, and she's really there to sort of advise him throughout the whole mission. And she's partly augmented a little bit, so she's got a way of being able to tell what's coming sooner and seeing obstacles sooner and stuff. So she's always, preventing him from getting into serious trouble. She also
bothers him a lot.
So it depends how you play. You'll see different sides of Vega.
That's true.
And I mean, she's down deep inside, a very caring person, even though she's got this kind of morbid sense of humor. And she's a tough girl, you know. I kind of took a little bit of the Michelle Rodriguez type of character to play her, which I sort of identify with as well, too.
You know what's going to be annoying with her?
I'm tough.
She's going to be, in the game, if you don't go to her right away, she's that one that constantly pops up in your ear, going, Adam, where are you? Adam, let's go. Yeah. Adam, come on. It's constant.
So get very used to this
You're
voice.
very used to her voice going. Because she is basically Vega, between Vega and Jim Miller, Adam's boss in TF-29. They're the two kind of main story pillars. And in this game, you guys will see there's so many side quests and so many characters you can meet. You can play the game one way and not meet an entire arc of characters, and then play the game the other way and not meet those people, or play a game and meet them all. So you have a lot of different options, but Vega is a through line all the time. She's always bothering me to come do the main mission.
Are you sure you want to do that, Adam?
Yeah, that's a lot. That happens a lot. You sure you want to do that side quest, Adam? Yes, leave me alone. I want the completion bonus.
I set the waypoint. Yes, I want to do it. Come on. So then, you guys were making fun of the balls being all over you, but is that key, you feel, to this game? Because it sounds like this one's all about relationships and the interplay between you and going through and making this a world you can believe in.
I mean, there's so much that we as the actor know about the whole world, because this is a huge world that's been created, right? So we know what we play, what we bring to the game, but there's just so much more.
Yeah, like your little corner of the entire blueprint.
Yeah.
You know, it's just,
Yeah.
So
But
even watching this stuff, sometimes I'm like, holy shit, there's so much more that
I was going to
to
say don't swear, but the trailer's kind of violent, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Good point.
One thing I like about performance capture in general is that I get to work directly with, oftentimes in voice, because of scheduling and things like that. I've gone in and done a session where I've just been me in a booth for 4 hours for 2 to 3 days or something like that, by myself. I don't really love that, but when we performance capture it, it's all of us together. Look at that chicane scene. I remember it was just us on a little box. My favorite thing is jumping off of the thing is just Mage went. That's it. I just have to do a little jump, and then they animate this crazy jump. But yeah, my favorite thing is performance capturing, because I get to work with you guys. Definitely.
Same here, except for the little outfits, but yeah.
Little outfits are not that great.
So then, just knowing a corner of the universe, how do they bring you up to speed on like what, it's 2029, it's 2 years after this, it's a dark dystopian future. How do they bring you guys up to speed on what that's going to look like?
The writers there, the voice directors there, kind of guiding us through the whole thing, especially the first day you arrive. And, you just got these papers in front of you. You don't know much because you signed a DNA, NDA, sorry. DNA.
You signed away your DNA when you started this game.
Yeah.
If you break the embargo on this game, we will clone you to death.
Pretty much. So, you get in there, and then they have to kind of guide you through a little bit, give you a bit of background. You have background on your character, which you can work on. But then more in terms of the story, they guide you through.
You're lucky because when I show up, I'm always so tired or whatever. They just, just go step in front of the mic, read what's in front of you. You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
How do you maintain the smile then, Mr. Miller?
It is tricky though. There have been times where I'm like, what? Especially because this game in particular is so dense with so much going on and so many characters. They'll come in to do I'll come in to do pickups or something, some added lines for a scene that they wanted, or I'll come in and they'll say, we got a new side quest today, and then we'll meet somebody in the side quest, and I'll say, why do I know this person? So, oh yeah, remember 6 months ago when you met that character, he or she did this and this and this. Oh yeah, okay. So, yeah. I totally remember that. I actually asked them to play my play the entire scene that we did, because when I play any video game I do, I don't remember anything. I'm playing it for like the first time. I remember going through Deus Ex and just playing. I remember this. Did I say that? I don't remember this at all. Except for once in Mankind Divided, in Human Revolution, there's a part where I know it was my first day. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but there's a part where I meet the cop in the station. I'm trying to convince him of something. And for some reason, I sound like Joe Pesci. Like the entire freaking conversation's like this over here. And I'm like, why didn't we re-record this? I have no idea.
Voice director's like, good enough. Shit.
Yeah, I guess they just.
That's why this one keeps getting delayed. People keep switching up voices.
That's right. I kept sinking into my Joe Pesci, so they kept having to redo it. So that's why it's delayed. I'm sorry. It's totally my fucking fault.
So, of course, Elias, you get to come back to these characters. For you, Victoria, Mr. Miller, like, what was it like to walk into this world, this project? How did you get involved?
Well, I've done motion capture and voice for several other games like Rainbow Six, Splinter Cell. I was Sarah Fisher in Splinter Cell, and so I had already been in this. We call it a world in itself in Montreal because we do so many video games. So I mean, I started as an actress. I've been acting for about 20 years. And I met one of the voice directors on a TV series called Neverending Story, where I played the Empress of Darkness. And he liked my voice. So he asked me to come in, and we auditioned. Everyone auditions for these things, and I got the part.
Did you panic and then immediately go and try to play the whole game, or did you just go the Wikipedia route, or how was it?
My ex took off with my console.
This son of a bitch! What's his address? Everybody, we're getting in the van.
I know, it's tragic. Yeah, that was the biggest loss in the whole thing. But anyway, so yeah, I'm waiting to get a new one and hopefully get to play it. But yeah, I was just watching a lot of Michelle Rodriguez interviews.
Yeah.
Good enough. Somewhere Michelle Rodriguez like, she owes me likeness rights.
I actually wrote to her too. They said she's a pretty cool girl.
Well, I want to hear more about that. What, you have her address? You're writing her a fan mail?
Yeah, I can't give too much information.
All right. Mr. Miller, what about you? How did you get in the project?
Well, I'm pretty new to the voice world acting, but it's been a couple of years now, and I got discovered by one of the casting directors in Montreal. And Montreal is particular because it's a really small city and a really small acting community, but we have a lot of projects going on, so you kind of meet up with everybody. And I was in a play, and I had the perfect character to show my big voice, and what was Ishward, the Tuareg, and the director was in the audience, and he said, okay. And after that, I got called, and then I did a couple Assassin's Creeds. I did a game called Outlast. I did.
Again, you're allowed to be excited about things, but audience, I just see a lot of heads like, yeah, Outlast. Remember that game?
And through that, getting known as the small guy with the big voice. They pulled me into this one, and I went into the audition. Actually, it was kind of wild. The audition was they had the description of the character, and I studied it, and I went in. And they said, so can you do a certain accent? And I said, well, it depends what you mean by that accent there. We're all gonna sit down and try to do it, yeah. And they said, that's the one we want. You sound just like the guy. So, we went into the studio, started working on it, and then they had to pull it back so people actually could understand what I was saying. And eventually, I was in. So it's been a great ride so far.
So you're going to be the scene in the game where everybody's like, wait, why is his accent different here?
Why is it changing?
10 hours.
The fluid accent.
No, that's gonna be me. Because when I get pissed, I sound more Latina.
I've known some Latina women. That's normal.
That's what happens,
Ladies and gentlemen, we want you to be part of this panel, of course. There's a microphone back there. Please feel free to line up, ask your questions for this illustrious cast. Some people are starting to move. Good. No, it's always that terrifying thing where you ask
Nobody
and
wants a
everybody's
question.
Like, good, got nothing. You're like, oh crap.
I'm legitimately terrified to pour water now.
Hello, sir. How are you?
All we have left is ice now at this point.
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent.
Hi.
Okay. Hello. This question is for all three of you. My question is, if you could take any voice role whatsoever, not necessarily just a video game role, what would you want to do?
Yeah, Jim Woolley.
Any?
Any.
Tim Burton stuff.
Hold on, while he's getting ready.
Wait, that's got something up his sleeve. You take your time, man.
Calling all Autobots.
That would be something around there.
That's cool.
But that job's already taken.
Peter Cullen, also from Montreal. Yeah. For me, I've always wanted to play Wolverine. I feel like I would play a good Wolverine. You know what I mean, Bob? Yeah. I think Wolverine would be cool. She just wants to play the animated Michelle Rodriguez.
I was going to say, if they ever make a Fast and Furious cartoon.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I don't know. I like to do all kinds of different voices, not just the Latinas. But I do like doing like evil voices. I don't know why.
They're more interesting. They're more
funner,
fun. Yeah.
funner to do. Yeah. But I do like tough chicks too. But I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's
I'm trying
good.
to
I
think of
like
a
the
good,
range.
like,
We had
Avenger.
an audition ready right out of the gate.
That was incredible.
Cut and send it to Hasbro. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
I like how they raised the microphone for him and totally screwed you.
I'm short. What can I say? Is it weird hearing your voice back at all? Like when you're playing the game, you're like, okay, and I want to. You feel like you should have added something or?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
I like being the only person in the world who can add lines to a Deus Ex game. It's very fun. I remember playing, and every time somebody says something I don't like, I'm just like, shut up, Megan. I was like, nobody can. I'm the only one who can do it, which is cool. And so yes.
Yeah.
Are you able to enjoy the experience though, or does it completely take you out of it? I mean, Elias already said he forgets everything.
Yeah.
He'll leave this room and forget he even came to PAX, so it doesn't matter. But I mean,
I think we all forget. All actors, we have so much stuff to memorize all the time. I think at some point our brains just can't take it anymore. It's just like overload. So you got to discard.
It's like Homer says, when you remember something new, it pushes something old out of your head.
Yeah.
thank you. Hey, Booker.
Hey.
No, Seraph.
Oh, Seraph, look at that.
God damn
Cool.
it.
My apologies. I thought you had the hook.
Cool.
Nice.
So,
Adam. Sorry.
anyway, so is there anything that you do before voicing the role to kind of get yourself, mentally and psychologically there to get into it? I know the big classic example is Heath Ledger and the Joker, but is there anything you do to kind of get yourself into that role? And also, after that, could you deliver us each your favorite line from the game?
We can't remember them.
That's just sketch. Well, I guess my process, and I think for every actor it's different, and for every project that I do is different. I know for this one in particular, I had to brush up on some accent work, and so I just went crazy, what are those accent tags that they have on YouTube, and just went over those and over those and over those, and called the people that I needed to call in my life who could help me, and just listen and work on it. And do the Betty Botter exercise and all the tongue twisters possible with the accent, trying to mold it and getting getting it to be like second nature, so that you don't get there and get stuck on words, you know. But you always have someone coaching you as well. So, but yeah, my process was a lot of just getting my ears and my mouth to work the way I wanted them to.
Victoria, anything?
What was the question?
See, she already forgot. It's the
like
your process before.
my process. Well, say it's very similar. We do a lot of voice warm-ups, articulation, like especially with the Spanish accents too, just to sort of get into it. And then I try to speak, turn my brain into Spanish speaking. Because I'm Spanish. I'm originally from Spain. And get into that, so that when I speak in English, I'm kind of going into the Spanish mode. A little bit of breathing exercises for those of us who came from theater school.
We have all the theater things, yeah.
I went to theater school, and then also picturing the character, you know, how she looks and stuff, to sort of embody that.
I get a glass and I put vodka and shards of glass in it and some nails.
You're not
and then
supposed to say that.
I gargle for about 15-20 minutes regularly, and then it gives me this voice. Lots of drugs, and then I'm good. Then that's my preparation.
He's so full of shit.
And living with it, I think for me, like just wandering around and being able to talk all day like that, which annoys everyone in my life. Like, people walking up and
Are
saying.
you one of those that stays in character?
Well, not in character so much as in accent. You know,
Accent.
Yeah, it's hard to get in and out of an
man.
accent.
Could you tell me how much that's over there? I'm looking for some. What's the price there? Yeah, please tell me that. Yeah, I'd love to get. No, then why are you talking like that? You know.
That's pretty sexy. I like that.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right. Now you wanted them to do their favorite lines,
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
but they've
Oh,
forgotten
snap.
their favorite lines. So Greg Miller, writer extraordinaire, has written a scene. Now
you're my
it goes
hero.
1, 2, 3. So you're part 1. You'll kick it off.
All right.
You're part 2, and then you're part 3.
All right, this is very good.
Hold on, everybody. We're getting into this. Can you read my handwriting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that, and everybody get into character here real quick.
Okay.
Read it over. Get ready to nail it.
Okay.
We're coming in. Oh, well, yeah, it's a favorite line. He said. He didn't say
right.
favorite 20-minute scene.
But that's
Sorry.
pretty short.
The robot chopper's coming in. It lands. Scene.
Boy, I sure do like being a robot man. Shuts up, robot man.
Go there, cabrón. You know what I'm saying?
Scene.
And scene.
Now, if you guys want to put that in the game, just saying, it's right there. It had all the characterization we've been talking about. A random Spanish word, relationships clashing. Just saying.
I sure do like being a robot man. That's a good line.
You're welcome to use it whenever you want.
I think I'll just fold that up and put that in.
DLC. DLC.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
How you doing? First of all, you guys are awesome, and this question is a little bit darker in tone. But
Right.
If I can bring the panel down a second.
it's gonna depress everyone. But I noticed from the cutscenes, it seems to relate heavily on like society these days with the pressure of terrorism, and because I noticed there's a lot of paranoia and surveillance and like kind of Big Brother watching you. And I just wanted to know like if you guys felt that a lot from the script, like if you felt like it relates to modern times with the
Totally.
way.
Sure.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about this game,
Yeah.
about this series, is how it relates to modern society and how you bring in moral and ethical judgments and even political and social judgments into how you play the game and the world of the game. It definitely affected the way I played it. That's one of my favorite things. Like I said earlier, my favorite thing about this story is the world that is 2020. Excuse me.
We hope the future won't
2030?
look like that in
Yeah.
2029.
We hope it won't.
But it's got a lot of realism.
Yeah, but it's definitely hung over everything we did for sure. Yeah. Good question.
Thank you so much.
Now that we're all
Thank
depressed,
you.
you can sit down.
During the motion capture process, you also capture voice, and I'm wondering about what percentage of that is kept and is good enough for the game, and then what percentage needs to be done again in a...
If they can help it, 100%. If they can, it's pretty much they would, at least as actors, right?
Yeah.
We prefer that performance. Occasionally we'll have to go in, lines change a lot in video games. We'll have to go in later and watch our performance capture and kind of, but you do it in TV also. When you do a TV show, if a plane flies over later, you got to go and redo your voice. It's the same type of thing. But I think I'd prefer, I don't know if you guys prefer the day. The day is always a better performance than trying to match it later.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
How hard is it to get back in that mindset when you do have to go ADR something, where you got to go back in and do it, but in that moment, right?
It's nice to hear it again, you know?
Yeah, have a
that
reference.
really helps
Definitely.
get back in. But if you just jump into it cold, it'll be hard to match.
Yeah, the first thing I do is I walk in and I say, it sure is nice being a robot man. And then
it sets the scene.
It sets the
you
scene
know
up.
what it's like, because you're not
in the zone.
You're not saying you're a man, and you're not saying you're a robot. You're part. You got two parts.
You're
and then
both.
You know.
Totally asked for it.
And I say, go there, cabrón.
This was, Jesus. This was specifically for Elias, but how much creative control do you have over your character?
I wrote the entire game. Everybody comes to me. Gameplay, mechanics, it's all me. No,
You're a smart man.
I drew everything, I coded everything, it's all me.
Were they stick
I'm
figures?
really tired. No, it's one thing I love about, it's much like a TV series when you grow into a character by the end or by the second season, you kind of have a little more artistic control of your character, like he would do this or he wouldn't do this, and I definitely found that with Jensen. We have our writers, our team of writers, and our head writer, and they outline a story, but they're very open to, I don't think Jensen would say it this way. Can we change this? Can I say this instead? They're very open to that. But I trust them enough that, I never really changed anything in a big way.
Like storylines.
Story.
I was going to say, what? that would really screw them up, you know?
Although we did, to be honest, there were times at the beginning when we were working on it and we didn't like where the story was going, and we all sat down and I was very honored that they included me. And we said, well, why don't we make the story go this way? And they took my input and things like that, which was a blessing.
You do that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice.
On the next game, they'll be all over it.
Yeah.
What do you think Vega would do here? Where would she send him?
But definitely, yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'd have some fashion tips.
With that hair?
Why all the black?
Hi. I was just wondering, are we going to see a return of Pritchard in Mankind Divided?
Oh, Pritchard, that jerk. I'm not gonna say. Oh, everybody likes Pritchard. He's such a little Weasley prick.
Tell us how you really feel.
No, Jensen actually really likes Pritchard deep down. He just, but I'm not gonna tell you anything about that. Next question.
Hi, I was curious, what were your separate inspirations for going into acting in the first place?
I'll leave that to you guys. Go ahead.
Oh my God. I don't know if I was ever inspired to go into acting. I've just always been in acting. We're 4 kids in my family, and we all started in acting and different sports and such, and everybody gravitated towards the thing they did, and I was always in acting. So the inspiration, it felt comfortable. By the time I was in high school, I had been in several theater troupes. I got into a theater program in college, and then TV, film, and then on to voice later,
Me? Oh, man, I've actually had 2 moments in my life where I knew what I wanted to do. The first time was when I saw Star Wars, and I wanted to specifically be a Jedi. And the only way I could figure out how to do that at about 5 years old was to be in the movies. And then when I, got a little into my teens, I discovered, this sounds so pretentious, but I discovered Kenneth Branagh as Henry V. And I started following Shakespeare, and then that kind of got me toward the theater path. So those are the 2 moments I always say. It was Star Wars and Kenneth Branagh got me into... Remember that rumor years, I don't know if you remember this, Greg, but Kenneth Branagh was going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Oh, yeah,
I was like, my worlds are colliding. But it didn't happen. But that's the two things. And then I've never had any other. I'm not good at anything else, really. So
That's not true.
how do you know?
So far,
I
we
know
know
your
you're good
wife.
at acting and bad at pouring water, but that's about it.
That's it. I tried the whole waitering thing. Obviously, I failed at that.
Corsets.
I'm sorry.
Gone with the Wind. Some of you are too young for that to know what that is.
Like you were around when Gone with the Wind came out.
That's a good
When I
point.
saw Gone in the Wind opening night with my family in our horse-drawn carriage,
Good point. Anyway, Gone with the Wind. West Side Story. I come from a family of artists. My mom was a ballerina. My dad was a filmmaker. There was always films going on in my house. And at 7 years old, I just knew what I wanted to do. Now, I don't know what I really want to do. But when I was 7, I really knew what I wanted to do. And I was a really hard-headed little girl. And I just, and a free spirit. And I just went for it. And that's what I did for 20 years. But now I'm also producing, I'm writing, I'm hoping to direct soon. It's kind of going all over the place. But it did come from wanting to wear those awesome dresses from Gone with the Wind. And my dream is to be in like a period piece Tim Burton movie one day.
Thank you very much.
thank you for your question. Yes, miss.
Hi. I was just wondering, are you all with the same agency? And if I may ask, which one?
No.
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 Okay.
No.
But yes, you can ask, no problem. I'm with MCM, Martinez Creative Management in Montreal.
I got agents in Toronto and LA, and we can give you names later. What about you, Joey? Who's your agent?
I have I've been with a Cameo agency in Montreal for the past.
For God's sake.
6, 7
Please stop pouring water. Just stop pouring it. Leave it alone. There's the only ice in
really
here now.
goddamn thirsty, man.
And this guy can
There's water in this
Piece of ice
slice.
and punch it. There, okay.
and he's supposed to be able to shoot
Everybody look
guns
away.
and fight really, really well.
Goddamn neuropazine.
Your augmentations are misfiring.
Your question wasn't about pouring water, was it?
Sorry.
Just don't get electrocuted now.
It's too late.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, but thank you.
What's going on, guys?
Not much, Ness. How you doing?
Not too much, not too bad. I just wanted to thank you guys for actually coming out to give me a chance to ask this absolutely ridiculous question. But this is for Elias. Provided the game has some form of mod support, would you be willing to re-record every single line of Jensen's dialogue as Joe Pesci?
That's funny. I wonder what I can get paid for that. That's all I really care about. No, I don't think I'm allowed, but I would. That would be great. Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be very funny.
I totally didn't ask for this, son of a bitch. You know my favorite thing? You know my favorite thing about Joe Pesci is how he runs out of breath. So that's my favorite. In the middle of a sentence, be like, "What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me." That's my favorite thing about Joe Pesci. So yeah, I'll do it.
Would you do
Yeah,
me
rip.
Would you do me one last favor and read the Robot Man line as Joe Pesci?
It sure is nice being a robot man.
Thank you, guys.
Is it Robot Man or Guy? It was
Robot Man.
Robot Man.
But I'm one of those writers who wants you to experiment with the material, really put it on, feel
Thanks,
it out.
thanks,
So I don't
Red.
mind.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
So you mentioned the first human revolution, it was a lot more hopeful, and this one's obviously a lot more dystopic. Would you guys like to see the next games become even more horrible and dystopic, or would you like to see a happy ending?
We really just want to get depressing. Yes, but I
We
don't
just
know.
want to
Man.
keep working.
Yeah, I would love another game. I don't know. I don't want to talk about where the story ends up or where it could go, but it could go either way, I think. Yeah, I would love to do another game. Like I said, I like money. But I don't know, man. It could go anyway. But I like. I kind of like it. Yeah, I kind of like the idea. Maybe I don't know if let's say this is a. You always think like the second one is the Empire Strikes Back, right? So if they were to do a third one, maybe it has to have Ewoks in it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
God, this table is really wet. I'm really sorry, guys.
Hi, my question is for Elias to fax this. What is your favorite line from Human Revolution?
My favorite line is when when Jensen runs into these, I think they're gangbangers, and one of them says, "Yeah, my boy got killed. Rest in peace, Big Rizzle." First of all, because Big Rizzle is a guy I grew up with. My buddy Lamar, we called him Rizzle. So one of the writers threw that in for me. And then Jensen says, like he wants to get on with the conversation, Jensen says, "Yeah, rip." And then just continues. That's my favorite. That's my favorite line. It's like, shut up about your dead friend. Let's keep talking.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Hi there. This is for all four of you. You too, Greg.
Greg's not allowed talking.
It was a lot of work putting this game together, I'll tell you. Long nights, didn't see the family, but in the end, when you see the... No, okay.
If you all end up playing the game, what kind of playstyle would you want to use? Diplomatic, stealthy, violent? Would you be a completionist? Would you want to do everything? Or kind of what direction would you play?
This is very important.
My style would be hang on for dear life and try and get through it, you know. I'm the kind of player that people hate playing or being around when I'm playing, because I just I'm horrible. I'm terrible, and so.
You're not a good gamer.
No, I must admit.
I would hate to be watching you play this game.
It may be entertaining.
Right. This is my water. For me, I've always played. I played the last game as I don't kill any good guys.
Yep.
That's really my rule. I don't kill cops. I won't kill innocent people or soldiers, even if they're trying to kill me because they don't know. But I'll massacre any bad guy that gets in my way. So I'm kind of like half and half. I'm really riding the fence on this one.
Yeah.
I'm really behind in games because I have...
Damn your ex-boyfriend.
I know.
We're getting in the van.
But no, I had a little girl. And ever since that happened, I just had to slow down on the video games because most of them are so violent.
Sure.
But I miss them. I miss them because they were a lot of fun. I used to play Splinter Cell and Halo a lot.
One Splinter Cell fan in the audience.
Yeah.
Hard to believe there aren't more games in the franchise. So you'd be diplomatic, I believe. Then I'm going to be violent. Like based on this, right?
I was violent though.
Huh?
I was violent though. Just because I had a little girl, it doesn't mean.
But
that I wasn't
now
violent.
you have the little girl, so you'd want to do the diplomatic approach in this game. When you play Mankind Divided, you'd be playing the good way and like, oh, so you can talk out your problems. And I'm gonna be like, oh, you don't like augmented people? Enough of your shit, world. I tried to be good last time and it got me nowhere.
No, Vega maybe would try to talk out the problems, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
All right, we only
guys.
got 5 minutes left. Let's go get through the
Thank
last
you.
4. Awesome.
Awesome. Elias, the fact that you even tweeted that this was happening is the reason I'm here today.
Nice.
So,
Technology and social works.
absolutely. And it's also the reason people ask about Pritchard, at least from my perspective, is the fact that the conversation between the two of you is just hilarious the whole time. So it sounds like we've got some good conversation coming up in the new game, which is awesome.
Well, I don't know about Pritchard, but yeah.
Continuing on the gamer side of things, for those of you who do game in the family, I'm my husband's wingman. I don't play. I watch with him and I kind of keep an eye on all of his stats and stuff and be like, hey, you might want to change this, whatever. Do you guys, does your family members, does your wife play with you when you
My
play?
wife is addicted to Far Cry Primal, like addicted. like neglecting our children addicted. Like it's a serious issue. I'll put the kids to bed and she's like, I'm just going to do the dishes and then I'll come up and we'll watch, Walking Dead or whatever. The kids fall asleep. I go downstairs. Dishes are piled. Terrible mess. I walk down to the basement. She's still playing Far Cry Primal. She's like, I just lost my cat. I lost my panther. I got to get a new animal. I don't know if you guys play a game, but she likes the petting the animals is what it is. So yes, yeah.
That's amazing. How about the rest of you guys? I mean, you said that with your kids now or with your daughter, it's a little harder. But I mean, do you guys play any games together? Or?
Well, we like to play outdoors.
What kind of terrible parenting?
What is that?
I'm
Some
so
of us
old
grew up
school.
doing
What's
that.
going on? But I know eventually we will get into video games. She's just a little tad young right now. But she does find some some games on the iPad, but I just can't handle them. I can't. They're just
piano time.
we're trying to set up rules around gaming at our place.
You guys are terrible parents.
I have a 4-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter, and she is very logical. She'll play. She has a great time, and she's really good. And then when I say, okay, that's enough, and then she'll fight me a little, and then she's like, okay, I understand. But my 4-year-old, he loses it and throws himself on the ground and goes crazy. So it's like, it's down to Saturday morning, the only time per week that we'll ever have. But I don't know. We have our Pac-Man 3D and our big Little Planet. That was the one that Little Big Planet. See how yeah. But Little Big Planet. That's the one that got us as a family into gaming. So
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Thanks.
We're good. Cool.
By the way, for the record, she's my wingman. I'm the husband.
Okay.
She also took like the first half of what I was going to ask about. So I'm actually going to change my question, make it a little bit more silly.
Welcome to marriage.
Exactly. It's like we're married or something. But if you were able to have, and for those of you who are kind of familiar with the gameplay and understand the augmentations and the choices you can make for how you can customize your character, is there one augmentation that you would abuse the fuck out of if you were in real life where, like, okay, I see a flight of stairs, I don't want to go down it, up Icarus? Is there something you would abuse the heck out of if you had augmentations?
Well, I like the Icarus landing for sure, because I would never take an elevator again. But I really like the Casey Aug, the one that sends out pheromones. You can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want to be the bad guy from Jessica Jones? I just that's all I would do. I'd get every part I ever auditioned for, and that's what I would do. The Casey Aug.
Awesome.
Sure.
Either of you have one that you would pick from?
We gotta stop.
Who, me?
No, I don't know
He hates
enough
Augs.
about.
I mean, your character hates Augs, but I mean you
anything.
personally.
No, I don't know enough about the actual augmentations themselves to be able to answer that properly. But if they had one that did dishes and open cans and stuff like that would be exactly what.
Ladies and gentlemen, they're literally playing us off, which I've never seen at a PAX before, which means they're fucking serious. Please put your hands together for the cast of Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.